What is up, creatives? Welcome back to the stream. It is a wonderful Tuesday evening. We're hitting the stream a little late, but I've done a lot of troubleshooting over the past week or so between our last stream and this stream to make sure everything is, on point, no issues. Hopefully everything's coming through good. If it's not, let me know down in the chat for sure. But if you guys appreciate all that, I'm trying to make it good for the community. Definitely like this video. Go ahead and pop out like the video now. It's a win-win-win. What it does is it really does help out the channel. It tells YouTube that you really like this content. They push it up the algorithm, and you'll start seeing more videos like this by me or by other creators recommended on your channel. So definitely do that. That's a win-win for sure. So some things we're looking to get into tonight. We're going to be talking about the basic audio gear that you need for iPad music production at home. And I think I got some good tips for you guys on that tonight. Also, gonna get into some live beat making again tonight. Hopefully we make a banger or two. And also, in between those two things, we'll have a little bit of Q&A. So you guys don't have to wait till the very end for questions and stuff. But if you have any questions at all during this whole thing, just pop them in the chat, and I'll get to them, as I'm going or during our Q&A session. So, all that being said, we'll give a few more folks a chance to get in. We got a few people coming in. That's good. Dope. All right. I'm going to run that intro. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to jump right into it. Let's talk about the main gear that you're going to need for iPad music production. Obviously, number one, you're going to need an iPad. The iPad that I use is this guy right here. This is the 12.9-inch iPad Pro. This is actually the 2018 version, not the 2020. I haven't upgraded. But yeah, so we got that. My recommendation, if you don't have, if you're looking for your first iPad for music production, definitely check out the iPad Air. I feel like it's the sweet spot for music production. It's got a lot of the pros of, what you would get out of an iPad Pro, but it's also got some balances. You lose a couple features, but they're not super important features that you're losing. But it strikes the balance between price and performance, in my opinion. So definitely check out the iPad Air. If you're watching this right now live, you can even pop into the description of this video, and I've listed all of the gear that I'm talking about today down in the description. You can check out those links. They are affiliate links, but it'll cost you nothing extra to use them, and it definitely helps out the channel if you're looking to purchase something anyway. But yeah, so we got our iPad. That's your first thing. Mine's the iPad Pro. That's my iPad of choice. And you got to make sure you have your iPad loaded with a decent DAW. So I'll show you my DAW folder right here. I'll pop it up here so you can see it better. The one I use the most is Beatmaker 3. That's my DAW of choice. It's the one I'm pretty much always using. I have used Cubasis. Cubasis is pretty dope. Cubasis 3. It just doesn't, if you're more of somebody that's doing, like standard traditional recording and whatnot, Cubasis 3 might be the thing for you. If you're someone that's used to like using an MPC or something, then Beatmaker 3 might be for you. And we'll talk about more about those differences in a second. But the Flip app, this is a basic sampler. I've done a video on that recently. I'll try to remember to put that link in the description for you to check that out. I got FL Studio Mobile, N-Track Pro, which is a new DAW that I'm checking out. There's tons of others. Obviously, I'm not naming them all here, but my recommendation as of right now is Beatmaker 3. It's gotten better as far as stability goes. So, all right, so quick recap. We got our iPads, and we got it loaded with a DAW. So that's a digital audio workstation for those of you that don't know. That's where you're going to be making your music in. The next thing you're going to need is an audio interface. Now, an audio interface is, for those of you that don't know, is what you're going to be connecting to your iPad in order to get sound into the iPad from, you know, various hardware or different things you want to plug in, instruments, microphones, things like that. More gear that we're going to talk about in a second. So it's also going to be what your audio comes out through, is through your audio interface. The audio interface I have, it's probably going to be hard to see right up here, is the Focusrite Scarlett. This is the 2i2. That is my recommendation, is the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. I've been using it probably a month now, I think, maybe a couple weeks, and it's tried and true throughout the industry. People use it, and it's affordable. It's one of the more affordable interfaces, and you get really good sound out of it. So Focusrite Scarlett, you can go with the 2i2. If you need more than 2 inputs, you can go with something like a 4i4. They also have a solo if you only need 1 input. Now, the amount of inputs you get is going to, you know, determine how many instruments or microphones or things like that that you can plug in to your iPad when making music. I generally don't need more than 2. I'm generally, you know, working as a solo person, but say I wanted to play in guitar and sing at the same time or something like that, having 2 inputs would be necessary for that. So 2 inputs is always a good way to go if you can. So we have our iPad, we got the audio interface. Also, remember they're linked in the description. The next thing you're going to need, pretty important, is your studio headphones. So I'm a huge proponent of the Audio-Technica ATH M50Xs. Let me see if I can get that to focus. There we go. Yep. These are the Bluetooth edition. So you can see there's, you know, a bunch of buttons here on the bottom. And these get super killer battery life. Like, I charge these once every several months. That's if you want to use Bluetooth. But as far as studio headphones go, these are also tried and true across the industry. They're also affordable. So you're going to notice kind of a theme going on when talking about my gear. Most of the gear I have is both tried and true, and it's affordable. That's a really important thing to consider when you're, you know, picking your gear, is try to strike that balance between price and performance. Don't go overboard if you don't need to, you know. The Focusrite Scarlett, nice. Video 4.0 says, when I'm on the road, I use iPad 8th gen as well for beats. That's a good recommendation. I saw Lambo Beats mention the 8th gen as well. Yeah, the 8th gen is the, for those of you who don't know, is the most affordable iPad that Apple currently sells. It is also very capable for music production. I did a video a while ago on the 7th gen, which was also capable for music production. And it's amazing the kind of performance you can get out of an iPad that is like a budget iPad. iPad 8th gen is definitely a good call if that works for you. You're talking about a price difference of, I think the 8th gen goes for around, I want to say it's $300 or $400 for the 8th gen. Somebody let me know in the comments if I'm wrong. But I think the iPad Air, the new one, is around $500 or $600. And then, you know, from there you're going up to Pro territory, which is $700 to $900. Nice. Genovese Images says, I'm using the Pro 12.9 2nd gen. Nice. So that's, you know, 1 or 2 generations back. That's the one with the home button, I believe. Also plenty powerful. Generally, if you're in the Pro territory, you're going to be able to handle it. I don't know about the 12.9, the 1st gen, but 2nd gen on, I think you're going to be just fine when it comes to the Pros. So let's keep it moving. You've got your iPad, you've got your audio interface, you've got your headphones. One more thing on the headphones. It's important, it's crucial, absolutely crucial to have some good headphones, because if you don't know what your music sounds like, if you're using really cheap headphones, you honestly aren't going to know what your music sounds like. you're not going to be able to get a good mix because what you're hearing back is not what you're creating. That's just kind of how it is. So on the budget side of things, the Audio-Technica are great. They have a nice flat balanced signal response, no boosted lows or highs or anything like that. Everything is nice and even, so you can get a good mix, an accurate mix. So after that, we've got your MIDI controller. Now the MIDI controller I use is the CME X Key Air. It is very, very thin. And it's very portable. This is why I use this as an iPad music producer. Now, I'm aware there are other options out there, but this CME X Key Air is a good one because of just how portable and light it is. It's not for everyone. I've done a review on this too. You can check that out in the description. I'll link that if I can remember. Got a lot of links to put in there. But some other options that are really thin and light and portable, something like the Sensel Morph, which I personally have yet to check out, but it looks really good. Also, there's cheaper ones that have that may be wired. This one particular interface is Bluetooth, so you don't have to plug up any wires to use it. Yeah, you can for wired ones, you can probably get a MIDI keyboard as cheap as $100, $50. AVXLA, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream. Nice. Just got the Akai. Yeah, the Akai MPK Mini. Nice. That's good affordable MIDI controllers are definitely helpful. Now let me tell you why I think you should have a MIDI controller. Because just typing and clicking in your music is not going to cut it, or tapping in your music. Like, I did that for a long time, and I wish I had gotten a MIDI controller sooner, because just you start to forget that you're making music if you're not using something that you can tactile touch. You're just pressing in things in your piano roll, and it kind of disconnects you from the creative process. It's nice to have a MIDI controller so you can program in notes, especially if you're not so comfortable with your DAW yet and trying to figure out how to do all that. A MIDI controller is a definite win. So I saw a question about the iRig Keys IO25. I haven't used the iRig keys, so I don't want to tell you a yeah or no about it, but I've heard some people say they really like it. I'm definitely going to be trying out a lot more MIDI controllers in the future, but yeah, I see Cash Keys is cluing in some folks. Appreciate you. All you guys down in the chat, appreciate you guys contributing to the community. So the last thing, I probably should have listed this earlier. Actually, there's two more things. You might want to get yourself a good USB hub. Not really might. You're going to want to get yourself a good USB hub, because the things that you're going to need to plug into your iPad, if you don't get a hub, you're only going to be able to plug in one of those things at a time. And that goes for headphones too, especially if you're on something like the Pro line. There's no headphone jack anywhere around here. So you've got one USB-C port, and that's it. Something like this guy right here, this is the Hyperdrive USB-C hub, and I plug it into the side of my iPad here when I'm not plugged in here. And you get yourself headphone jack, USB-A port, couple SD card slots. You get a USB-C for power and data, and then you get an HDMI cable, HDMI port right here on the top, so you can plug in an external monitor or something like that. That kind of functionality is super helpful when you're making music, because I can plug in a MIDI controller right here. I can plug in my power supply here, and I can plug in my headphones here, and you're good to go. So you got your hub. The last thing I highly recommend, and this is for anybody, I highly recommend getting yourself a mic. Let me switch to the overhead. A mic of any kind, maybe not any kind, but a condenser mic specifically. Let me see if I can get this to where you guys can see it. The mic I use is the Blue Spark. I have this linked down in the description as well, but it is a condenser mic, and it is XLR. Now, there's some options when it comes to condenser mics, and we'll talk about those right now. So with condenser mics, sometimes there's USB versions, which you can plug in just as a USB cable to the side of your iPad through a hub or something, and you can also get yourself an XLR one, which is what I use. So you'll notice right up here, this cable right here is an XLR cable. I'll just unplug it so you can see it. One of these guys with 3 pins in it. That is an XLR cable. That's your standard, plug-in for microphones, and that goes straight into your audio interface. Now, you can also plug in regular 1/4-inch instrument cables into your audio interface. But I've seen a lot of good with either digital or analog condenser mics, and one of those would be like the Shure. The MV7. The Shure MV7 is a good mic it can be digital or analog. It has plugins for both, so that's a good option. But the mic that I have is the Blue Spark, and that's listed down in the description. Solid mic, and the reason I recommend this for anyone, and not just people that say, oh, I'm a singer, I'm a rapper, is because you're gonna want to at some point experiment with recording in your own sounds for making music. Now, I use samples. I use, drum samples more often than not. But I do also program in my own percussion. So you'll catch me using my microphone over here to play in some tambourine or something, or play in some sleigh bells, or play some form of drum, or play in my viola like I did on my last stream. These instruments back here, I'm recording that with my microphone. So even if you feel like you don't play, a specific instrument really well, I would highly recommend at some point investing in a microphone so that you can get used to creating your own sounds, even if you're just creating sounds with your mouth. Get yourself some good quality audio. So that wraps up the gear that I think you should, well, not just that I think, but that wraps up the gear that you should definitely pick up as an iPad music producer. It's gonna make your life easier, and when you're hopping in the studio getting ready to do what you need to do, you're gonna have everything that you need right there. Everything else beyond those core items, in my opinion, is a bonus. You don't need to have more than that in order to make dope music. And to be honest, when it comes to the iPad, a lot of times you don't need more than this, because in programs like Beatmaker 3 and other things, you have pads built in to your sounds. So like, second I open up project, yeah, see, you can play stuff in on your pads. So if you want to wait and get a different MIDI controller later and just use the pads on your iPad, you can do that. But yeah, that's the gear you should check out. We're gonna get ready to transition into some Q&A. So if you got more questions, pop those down in the chat. Cool, so we're back. Ready to answer some Q&A if you got any questions. Genevieve says, I need to get good affordable studio speakers. Yeah, there's a lot. The options are different out there, so you have to think about what kind of speakers you want. I would highly recommend studio monitors that are preamped. So basically, you don't need to plug them into an amp in order to get sound into them. You just plug in, a couple of audio cables and run that to your interface. That's what I would recommend. Something that just has 1/4-inch out. I know that there's some good affordable ones by Pyle Audio, Pyle. There's Yamaha's going to be a little more expensive when it comes to really good monitors, but there's good ones out there from Yamaha too. The monitors that you see on my desk right here, and I wish I had a better angle for you, but I don't. These two monitors I have on my desk are Mica brand. They are not powered monitors. They're not preamped. They are running to an amp that's under my desk. That's an option if you want to go that route, but you have to buy the speakers and you have to buy the amp. So that can be a more affordable route if you want to do that, but I would highly recommend going with something that's powered out of the box. So the Mica does make ones that are that are powered. If you're gonna get whatever you get, just check. I would highly recommend, if you can afford it, go with 8-inch 8-inch woofers here on the bottom. Oh, let me get a good angle. Yeah, these are like 5-inch. If you can get like an 8-inch woofer here, I would highly recommend it. You're gonna get better lows out of that than you would with a 5-inch. It's gonna probably be more balanced. It fits pretty much everything in the back. Oh, nice. Yeah, trying to get everything to fit in a backpack. I've definitely done that. My setup, most of my gear can fit in my backpack. But about studio monitors, yeah, just make sure you get you some good powered ones. Sorry, I don't have a ton of recommendations right off the bat. But yeah, as far as getting everything into the backpack, that's why, literally why I go with the slim things that I do. So I can toss my iPad. I have a little carrying case and a small backpack, and then I throw this, which also has its own carrying case. Can go in a backpack, super thin. And then I also have these headphones right here, Audio Technica. They fold up nice and neat, really easy to fit in a bag. And then I just have some adapters on top of that, and that's pretty much it when I hit the road. And it's very light. It's super easy to get around. If you have, I could show you. It's good to have a good keyboard for your iPad if you can. This is the Apple Magic keyboard for the iPad. It's definitely the best one, the best keyboard that you can get for the iPad that's out there. That's also great to have on the go, so I throw that in my bag. AVXLA, thank you for throwing that in there. The iLouds, I actually came onto the iLouds by Henny the Business. I'm sure you guys did too. But by IK Multimedia, Henny the Business recommends iLouds. I haven't personally used any, that's why I haven't recommended them. But I hear that they sound really dope. Might have to check those out myself. So we're gonna get ready to transition here. If you guys have more questions, for sure leave them down in the comments, and I'll try to get to them at the end. But now we're gonna go ahead and transition into doing some live beat making. I'm gonna throw up some waiting music, and I'll be right back. All right, we are back. So, went and grabbed a few things that I thought I might need. Got some percussion instruments over here. Got the headphones loaded up, and I'm gonna go ahead and get into some Beatmaker 3. So, let's see. Go ahead and get the keyboard paired up. Cool. Cool. So, quick pro tip for you guys when it comes to using the X Key Air right here and using the trying to use a sustain pedal. I mentioned this in one of my previous videos, but the X Key Air does not allow you to use a sustain pedal with it. There's no port for it, so you can't use it. But if you happen to have another keyboard around that's plugged in, for example, I have, can't really see it, this big one back here. I have a sustain pedal plugged into that. As long as the keyboard, as long as the keyboard is turned on, you can use the sustain pedal from that keyboard with the X key. So that's what I'm about to do. Cool. Rodney Ford says, how can I use my iPad as a sound module? I haven't experimented with that a lot, to be honest. But I know, I'm pretty sure Elbow Media has done a good video on that. Check that out. Yeah, I'm looking into it, and I'd be happy to make a video on it once I've done it more. But good question. Okay. I think I'm going to pull up some, let's see, let's get some roads loaded up. Maybe we'll start with, let's start with Ravenscroft. Cool. There we go. There we go. All right. All right. I'm gonna pull up some. Let's pull up some MIDI files. Let's give this a shot. I definitely like that. Let's see what we got, what we can do with that. I want that a little faster. For sure. Just gonna stagger these a little bit. Interesting. Huh. Let's try some lo-fi dirt. Alright, let's see what we can do with some drums. Cool. Leave it there. Like that. Try this one. Let's see, give it a shot. Might need to bring this up a little bit. let's record that. I think I recorded over that. Let me do that again. Shape Noise, welcome. Try that again. Here we go. Hopefully get the right note. Let's do that one more time. Alright. We're getting somewhere. I'm gonna jump back. Let's start a new one. Oh, wait. Let's rename this first. We'll hit save as. Just 8 is fine. Save. Alright, new. Cool. Yeah, shape noise. I hear you about starting out on iPad. For those of you watching, if you're looking to transition into a new platform, just know it does take work to get used to. Like even from what I do, it's taken some time to get used to it. I'm still learning, but yeah. Another thing is just because you start producing on an iPad doesn't mean you have to stop producing anywhere else. For example, like this is an iPad. There's a MacBook right there, which is running the stream right now. But if you have another computer already, you can still produce. Just produce on what you got, produce on what's comfortable. Keep making music regardless as you're learning, and just try some things out on the iPad. Get used to it. But yeah, gonna see if I can cook something up different. Wasn't really feeling that one. Sometimes it's just how it goes. So let's see if we can get something a little more organic. I like that to be 120. Here we go. All right, let's load up some House Mark 1. All right, here we go. Let me get a good preset loaded. like this. All right, I think I got something. It's gonna take me a second to get this. When you're not an experienced pianist, you get good ideas, but it takes you a while to get them down. That's my deal. That's what happens. All right, cool. Here we go. All right, see if I can remember this. All right, let me record this much below tempo. Let's try. Here we go. It's a little too slow. All right, let's try 55. Oh, there we go. Let me get the right chord. All right, let's see if I can do this. All right. Yo, Video 4.0, thanks for checking in, man. Yeah, go make something dope, man. All right, let's see what we got. I don't know why I didn't catch my sustain. Let's try it again. No. Here we go. It was going so good. All right. See, I'm a one take kind of guy. Gotta get it in one whole take. All right, there's a couple mistakes there, but that should do it. Let's repeat that. Why is it messing with my sustain? Ah, I see. There we go. I'm gonna fix that note in a second. Let's see, should be able to bring that just down here. Let's try that. I like that. All right, let's bring it back up. I think I saw that a little bit higher. I guess a little too high. Let's see, 65. Yeah, that's good. Hang on. Nah. Let's try this one. Yeah, I like that. Alright. A little live tambourine in here. Ooh, I wonder if we can get some. Alright. Let's quantize it. Let's swing it. I tried not to swing it, but I gotta swing it. Alright. Hopefully it doesn't butcher everything. Let's see. Swing like 20%. That's too straight. For those of you that are wondering, I know this is not how you play tambourine. Going for a specific effect. Alright. Don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. That's right. All right, let's see. Make sure my input's good to go. All right, here we go. Ah. Seems like that's too quiet. I think that works. My wife says live trumpet. Yes, my wife, if you guys don't know, plays a mean live trumpet. So yeah, that might happen. Ooh, sorry, that's a little loud. Got a little cowbell in here. Okay, it's getting a little wonky in a couple spots, but I'm just gonna go with it for now. All right. Oh no. I think the MIDI's overlapping. Yeah. Okay, so for those of you that wonder what just happened, my MIDI started playing at double time. Double time happens. It's a bug in BeatMaker 3 that happens sometimes. Oh, looks like we're getting some freezing, some chopping. Hopefully it clears up. Okay, sorry. I was saying if you're doing anything in BeatMaker 3 and you ever get a section where it starts playing in double time, it means you have some overlapping MIDI somewhere. So keep an eye out for that. All right, here we go. I'm using a mic, Shape Noise, just so you know. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, right here. It's the blue Spark. quantize that. All right, hopefully that fixes it. All right, EBK, have a good one, man. Thanks for coming. Yeah, there we go. Ooh. I like that. Putting deuces, somebody inspired me. You know what? Let me turn quantize on. Quit playing games. Here we go. Let's get some piano in here. Ooh, I should be recording this. Okay. Ooh. Undo. Okay, here we go. See, can we get some record action right here though? Here we go. Why is it doing that? Okay, I don't know why it wants me to record something into Housemarque 1. Let's try record arming again. Here we go. I don't know why we're recording there. Alright. Let's do this. Let's save. Let's pull it up again. All right, here we go. Almost. Let's hit it again, right here. Jump the gun. All right, one more time. Oh, that's not the right chord. Alright, I should keep the beat in. Let me just repeat everything. Why not? Except let's not repeat this because this doesn't exist yet. Alright, here we go. Oops. Well, for some reason it doesn't want me to record Ravenscroft. I think I'm gonna call it on that one. I realize that this is kind of a drawn out, you know, process of me making music, but this is what it actually looks like. The quick chopped up versions are not, you know, what happens in the studio. Sometimes the inspiration is just flowing, and sometimes you gotta like squeeze it out, and sometimes things work and sometimes they don't, but that's all part of the process. So if you're at home making your own music and you find yourself having some of the same frustrations that I have during my live stream and things like that, hopefully that's relatable and you guys see how the process works. But yeah, I'm gonna stick around for a few more minutes in the chat. If you had a question and you left it and I didn't get to it, I'm gonna take a look right now and definitely want to respond. But just know, you guys, I'm looking out for the questions. I have a Q&A segment during the live stream, and I generally try to come back around to them at the end. And if it's a quick question, I'll try to answer it real quick during the live stream. But other than that, definitely hang around for the end. Quick question of the day, since we were talking about gear earlier. What is the piece of gear that you are most looking forward to adding to your music production setup? You've got your eyes on it. What is that? Let me know down in the comments. I'll let the community know what you got your eyes on, and maybe you guys can help each other out by letting each other know if some of this gear is legit. If I see anything, I'll definitely respond. But until then, until next time, creatives, go make something dope, and I'll see you in the next video.